When the local citizens of North Bridgton petitioned the General Court of Massachusetts to incorporate Bridgton Academy in 1808, they boldly envisioned a day when students would prepare for the rigors of higher education. The founders' dream far exceeded their expectations. During the past 200 years, their vision has endured a history of transformation. However, Bridgton Academy's mission has remained the same. Exceeding expectations is the underlying experience of Bridgton Academy graduates. Although they may have enrolled for a myriad of reasons, years later these alumni tell a similar story. A story of how their year at Bridgton Academy was a year that transformed their lives in a profound way and exceeded their expectations.
The school always had this sense of mission of service. And in small communities, that was crucial. And you see that throughout the school's history. But it was very different in those days. You came here to read for Bowdoin or Dartmouth. You came to prepare for their tests. There was no high school diplomas in those days. In the early stages of Bridgton's history, the headmasters were truly the entrepreneur. And so the headmaster was the only teacher, and he would help you prepare for your Latin test or your Greek test or mathematics or classics or rhetoric or whatever it was that the colleges were testing for. And always these people had, again, a mission that they saw within the school. But headmastering at Bridgton was not an easy task. It was only until 1921 was the first headmaster paid a salary, Mr. Sampson. And he stayed 20 years as a result, and really formed the basis of what I might call the modern Bridgton Academy. After Mr. Sampson, then Mr. Goldsmith came in, and he was a member of Mr. Sampson's teaching staff. And he was headmaster for 30 years, one of the longest serving heads in the history of independent schools. And he really helped the school through some difficult times. Then Bob Walker, who had been on staff, became head up until 1990. And I think people who come to be heads of Bridgton Academy realize it's not like being a head of another school, because it is so personal, it's so upfront, it's so right in your face, it's so there. You can't run the school from a distance, and that's a good thing. But I really honestly believe that leadership really is involved in putting the right teachers in front of the students, because that's who the students ultimately remember. And that's really the core of the institution. A headmaster is like an orchestra leader. He's not the major player in a sense, but he's helping everyone else do better at what they do. And you know, when you look at some of our faculty who have been here 30 years, 20 years, etc., they are helping to introduce that ethic to the new faculty, who then in turn will introduce it to new faculty. And that's really what's happened at Bridgton Academy, and its strength. And that's been the reason the school has survived when many schools like this have gone out of business. And it's very rare that a school, small school like this in northern New England survives for 200 years.